Then there was a little gas station, there's a colored man standing in a chair by the door, you know, and pulled up and said, "You need some help, you need some gas?" I said, "No, I'm looking for the so-and-so motel." And he says, "Guess what?" I said, "What's that?" He says, "You in Raytown."
This is not where you meant to be.
The wrong place, buddy. Our call center used to be in Raytown.
We pulled up the.
Oh, really?
It was gonna be
One of them, we had
30
two.
years, but one.
Yeah.
Start walking up.
One in Lincoln and one in Raytown.
You didn't even hardly have to do any work today.
I know, what's up with that? Not paying any
She was
bills,
being nice
what?
to you.
Huh?
She was being nice to you.
Well, I guess we did.
Had to quit. Can't pay the bills.
According to the reconciliation
Yeah.
statement, it looks like we were really out of money, huh?
Overdrawn there.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's always so bad when
Yeah.
we don't make a transfer before that.
There you go. It looks pretty ugly, doesn't it? Looks like it says 7:30. According to the agenda, that's what time this meeting's supposed to start, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. Dr. Clifford, welcome.
Keep me awake.
All right, we'll do so. We'll do our best to try to do so. Larry, welcome.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
Great.
Thank you for being here. You should have received the consent agenda. Larry, did you receive that? All right. Good deal. Got the right, got it sent to him. So, according to this, you received it all. Everybody should have received it, and you should have reviewed it. And if you have any questions or with regards to the agenda, minutes, or financial or income statements, please ask. If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. We're good to go. Public comments. Larry, Dr. Clifford, no comments? All right, you're only limited to 10 minutes, so you got it.
We'll bring a lot next time.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. So with that, we'll move on to the Lana
If he gets his hair done in
DeVos.
time.
You know this is being televised, right?
Good morning.
Good morning, Lana.
All right, project 623. Again, with the numbering, the first number indicates the month and the second number the year. So project 623 is new this month and assisting a project with looking for sites for light manufacturing and service business. 523-2, we've sent some pro formas and some samples of lease rates to a developer who's considering some commercial development. 523-1, manufacturing project. We've provided some contact information to that business about some opportunities for potential partnerships that they might enter into. We haven't had any updates this month from that. None of the Department of Commerce projects have sent out any updates. Housing Project 623, this is a multifamily group that's looking at the potential of building some apartments here. So we have sent them, as of yesterday, sent them some land sites, and they've also met with the city, so the city is working on getting some information to them as well. Other housing projects, we've had some unincorporated area of the county discussions. Had a couple meetings with the NDS and the county's planning and zoning side to talk through some of those. So right now, the costs are looking a little high on doing new development in the unincorporated area if it's anywhere near a paved road. So we're working through that. It's the way the zoning regulations are written for the county, it's requiring that the interior roads match the character of the surrounding area. So in this instance, with the one that we worked on now, initially he was under the impression that he could do all-weather roads for the interior streets, but now the county is thinking that probably their zoning regulations are going to require that those all be paved, and that increases the cost obviously significantly to be able to get the project done. So we'll see. We continue to work with him and help with the numbers on it, but it looks like if that's going to be required, those projects probably won't work. It's just too costly right now to get roads paved.
So what is an all-weather road? What is that? Is it like asphalt? Is it
No, it just
dirt?
Well, yes,
Or
but
a rock or what?
they are improved.
Gravel?
They're yes. I call them all-weather roads. Steve probably has a different name for them, but gravel. There you go. But yeah, it's just roads that are they're
They've been-
improved enough
They have a
that they're not a trail road.
Okay.
Right. With Randall Estates, we're just waiting on the KDOT permit. That's taken some time, and the last update that we got, Steve can give you from KDOT on that, but hopefully we'll get that soon. All the contractors are ready to go, and he's got folks who are lined up waiting to buy lots, so hopefully we get that started quickly. Country Acres, we've not heard any update. The last we talked with them, they were hoping to start construction in October. And I don't think there were any other large updates on projects that we've been working on. Lots of meetings in June and July, and Grant can share a little more with you, but we've had a lot of opportunities for him to get in front of entrepreneurs and folks who are looking to start businesses. So kind of exciting stuff. On the child care side, the Finney County Child Care and Early Learning Network was successful in getting a $620,000 plus grant through the state of Kansas that thankfully the uses of that money are wide, so we're able to do our new employee training and some salaries, a lot of operational costs that otherwise would have been challenging to cover. So we're very excited that they got approved for that grant. So we have an executive director hired now, and a site director is also working contract right now, but will come on as a full-time employee. And then we've got, thankfully, several folks who are already licensed to provide childcare who have reached out to our executive director looking for positions. So I think we'll be able to hire the folks we need to get that center up and running, hopefully by the end of the summer.
We got our license yet?
No, but thanks for asking.
Did we get our inspection yet?
No, but we do have, since the executive director is hired, we just have her calling them every day to help move the process along. They're very friendly folks.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
So hopefully that will not be much longer. But there you go. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Except that one.
Well, I answered it.
Yeah.
It's just not the answer you wanted.
Happily.
So when do you anticipate opening up at beginning of school year?
Yeah, the hope has been all along that we would be able to open end of August, 1st of September. So the executive director is just acting as if everything's perfect and we know we're going to get the license. So she's just moving through the process of getting everything ready so that it will be ready to open. I have no doubt we'll have the license by the time we get to that point. So she's just assuming the license is on the way and getting the work done.
How's our existing daycare?
Haven't talked to them real recently. They've been doing a lot of work around the building. A lot of the parents have volunteered and gone over and done some painting and stuff like that. So I know they would love to be able to stay operational. So hopefully that will work out for them.
Is that it?
That's all I have.
Any questions for Lonnie? Any other questions for Lonnie? Okay. We will move on to Mr. Cottrell. Special projects.
Okay, this is National Tapioca Day, so enjoy your pudding. Also, if you know anybody named Grant or Lauren, it's their day. Celebrate those
Happy Grant Day.
people.
That's grantastic.
Yes.
Picture celebrate.
There we go. Okay, so it's short report because my computer crashed on June 2nd. I got a new one on June 8th, but I'm still waiting on college IT people to see if they can retrieve my files so that I can go back to work. I'm gradually rebuilding things off of things that I emailed.
Oh, wow.
Slow process, and I just as soon get files and just play back. Okay. Last month I told you that we responded to a KDOC RFP on a big facility. They told us we made the first cut, but then after we got their site requirements, we decided not to submit. Didn't have a site that was quite shovel ready. They were wanting to start construction in like October. There was no way we could do that. So, up on Western Kansas corridor, worked on some marketing materials with Lana and Shannon and everybody else. Waiting on the black corners to get set so we can get in and install electric and pavement markings up on the highway, and then it should be ready for people to start moving things in. Then I worked on some concepts and had a few Zoom meetings with potential business, commercial development on the east side of the city. Lots of promise in that direction. As Lana mentioned, Randall Estates is ready except for the KDOT permit, which is going through a 30-day internal review, which ends Friday, so hopefully early next week, Jim will get his permit and we can get the pre-construction scheduled and get his contractors in and going. We had a Zoom meeting with a out-of-town multifamily developer and suggested a few sites for their consideration. And as Lana said, got another out-of-town developer looking for some land for multifamily as well. Before the computer crashed, I was working on concepts for residential development east of the bypass. And we did meet with the landowner in the county on his RHAE process, but as Lon mentioned, the paving requirements are probably going to kill that project. So. That's it.
The RAP project out on Jenny Walker, I noticed that they had moved the irrigation or tore all the irrigation down and probably going to begin some phase of the
The first 21.4 acres, I think, has been sold to an apartment developer.
Okay.
They're going through all of their process now and look to break ground probably October-ish. A couple hundred units. So activity in that new part of town.
Looks like is it Hunter Glen project is moving right along.
Yeah, there's
that's,
just a couple that don't have slabs yet. But yeah, they're moving rapidly.
Okay.
And they just got an agreement on water connection fees approved with the city last week. So that was a big unanticipated cost that wasn't in their original budget, so they were scrambling, but they did come to an agreement. And they filed a preliminary, Phase 3A, Phase 3B, and Phase 4 plats have been submitted for review, so that pretty much takes up all the property. Phase 3A will be the next one because of the problems they had earlier or last year with Phase 2. They're going to jump it from Phase 1 to Phase 3. They had to split it up because of funding limitations or something like that.
So, like the one I mentioned about the roads having to be paved, like the Spikes property out there where they have, I'm just going to call them improved roads. Part of his area has unimproved roads. Will he be required to put in?
Fortunately for Gary, Farmland Road is gravel.
Okay.
Mary Street along his property
Is gravel.
is gravel.
Right. Okay.
So it doesn't have a requirement.
So is there anything that we can do as economic development help the projects? I mean, can we suggest some changes to the covenants for
The county
those?
commission is meeting to talk through all of their zoning and planning requirements. That's part of the discussions they've been having for a little over a year.
Okay.
But that's included in their work session for their next meeting. So they're looking at those opportunities and things that they might be able to tweak to make things work a little bit better. Obviously, we don't want to be going to them and asking for special permission
No.
for projects, but it would be good if they had a uniform
Consistency
response.
for consistency.
Yeah, especially when you're outside the envelope, if you will. When we get into the areas where they're going to remain unincorporated for the foreseeable future, it would be good if we could not have to pave those roads.
You know, when you don't have urban or city-type density of 4 or 5 lots to the acre, and you're doing 2 to 5 acre lots, having a paved road just makes it.
It's tough, yeah, real tough. It's part of the development.
And then maintaining
yourself
them.
out
Sure,
of
yeah.
Price market on lots of, so.
This may be out of sequence here, but Vicki, how are the new housing selling? Are they going fast? Are they continually, has it slowed down a
It's
little?
been interesting
Okay.
because there has been somewhat of a shift. So the more, expensive homes, the higher priced ones in that 300 plus have slowed down. But the 200,000, that little sweet spot right around 200,000 is a hot market right now.
Okay.
So
Do you think that's because of the interest rates?
I think interest rates have a lot to do with it, yes.
Okay.
It's hard to build them for 200,000.
Oh, yeah.
We're able to stay around the 220 mark on some that Dave's working on, but it's hard to find lots that can accommodate that with existing covenants and restrictions. So
So does that include
there is a need
basement?
for that.
Does it include a basement on that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
3 bedroom,
Pardon?
3 bedroom,
Two.
2 bedroom.
2 bedroom, 1 bath. Some have single, some have double car garage, full unfinished basement. It's in a PUD overlay where they're able to do these smaller lots and put the houses closer together with some special fire protective aspects on the home. But
Got you.
there is a need for that. If anybody cares to develop something for that.
Ready. Any other questions for Steve? Thank you, Steve. Appreciate your time. Mr. Scott?
Good morning.
Keep all those murders in Kansas City.
Keep my head down. On the Greater Garden City website, we had about 2,500 visits to the site, which has been about average, same as last month. Most viewed posts included recognition for USD 457 retirees and long-term employees, summer food service schedule information, and flea market festival registration. I think that's coming up July 8th, maybe. I'm not sure of that date, but I know it's early July. On Facebook, Greater Garden City Facebook page had 2,100 post reach, which is the number who saw a post, and about 1,500 engagements, which is the number who interacted. Top posts on Greater Garden City's Facebook page included the retirees, long-term employees, a list of Crystal Apple nominees, a shared post about Garden City Wind players who showed up to support a youngster at a ball game, and the Burlington News out on, what is it, the Plaza? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the Garden City Journal had one post about Burlington, and as you can see, it had 116,000 post reach, which is the number of feeds it went through, and then 26,000 engagements, which is people who liked, shared, or commented on that news. So, yay. And as for Twitter, we had 1,900 tweet impressions, which is the number who saw a post of ours go through their feed, which was up about 3 times what it was last month, which is good. And yeah, that's about it. Any questions about social media or?
I'm surprised there's not more about the great race. Really,
It's probably next month.
we'll see
Yeah.
what happened, and, what took place, and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. All right, any other questions for Scott? That we'll move on. Mr. Shannon, what exciting news do you have for us today?
Good morning. I'm just sharing some of the work that I did with the groundwater management district. This is part of the rollout of this report. This is the eye care report. This is done in conjunction with the team over there, Trevor and Mark Rude, and the city, Jamie from the city communications put this together. But this is just going out to, if you're a citizen of Garden City, you get a water report that's kind of like this, and I believe we talked about this before. This is going out to all the wells. Lonnie, could you go down to the next page? It's backwards on this print, so that's the back page here. This is the front page here. And this is just giving all those point conversion water users update on what they're doing with their water consumption. It's looking at how they're doing versus their region and their sub-region. And their region and sub-region is divided up based on geographic formations and use and patterns and things like that. So what this is to really inform those users of how they're doing compared to their neighbors, as a way to kind of just be aware of where they're at with water consumption, with the idea that people, if they're aware of what they're doing and if they're aware of what everybody else is doing, can make the decisions themselves on best water practices. So you can see there was things about how they're doing versus their compared to their sub-region, what their wells are doing, acreage per acre, what their region's annual groundwater change. This is over a 10-year period, and then what percent reduction does that sub-region need to continue to have a stable aquifer. So, for example, this this region needed a 23% reduction, and if we do achieve a 23% reduction in water usage, that will be enough to sustain the aquifer indefinitely for this area. So that's good news because you can tell people what's going on with their local thing. And then on the back page here, the drought monitoring. This was actually a little bit, usually this doesn't happen for us, but this is a little bit outdated. We have even more rain since this, if you've seen the recent drought monitor. But they have drought monitors, so you can kind of see where their land is versus their well is versus everybody else and what the predictions and the conditions have been. Then if you look down, we can see like a 10-year history of their water consumption per acre versus similar wells. And again, that's the other wells in the region, how they're doing. So the point is to give the water users the ability to know what's going on and make the decisions themselves about best ways to conserve that water. And like you have some steps here that's included, or you can go to the nodal irrigation thing or the aquifer atlas. And then in late July, we have a plan going out. So this went out to 6,634, something like that, reports. So we generated 6,600 unique reports. That's down to the well level data. Groundwater Management District sends out pieces of paper with this on it for everybody. Reception has been good so far. We actually had somebody that said, hey, I saw that some of my neighbors got it. Where's my report? And there are some cases where if you didn't pump for a while, you got some inmates in your stuff, so we suppressed some of those reports. But it's good that people are noticing that their neighbor got something, they didn't get it, and they said, hey, what does my data look like? So the water users are interested in knowing how they're doing, and this is a good way where we don't have government stepping in and saying, hey, you need to reduce your water and these are steps. This is something that the water users themselves can do. So at the end of July, we're going to have a series of talks around our local area that they're calling iCare and Ice Tea and Ice Care. Ice Tea and Eye Care. There will be Ice Tea at these events. And we'll just be talking with the water users about what they have here, conservation ideas, any topics they come up with. So, really neat project. This was a federal grant. This is last year we did the pilot study, which was just Finney County. This is done for the whole Groundwater Management District 3, so Southwest Kansas. And so that all just wrapped up. I think they've got everything sent out. So that's one of the kind of larger projects I've been working on for
a while.
Yeah, for a while. This took a couple of months to go through and get all that done. So, and then we were a contract on that, so we had billable hours to GMD3 for this work. So, any questions? I mean, it looks fancier than the normal things. It's just a graph. But that's, I mean, Jamie did a great job with the city getting this all turned out. And we're talking just the generation of the reports was, I don't remember how many hours it was, but I mean, we're talking like 10 hours of just generating reports, and then it was another 10 hours of printing these reports. So.
Has your city, Garden City, ever had less consumption of water?
Yeah, if you really are super interested in that, I talked to Fred on the city water. He had a report when we did this last year where we could see a measured reduction in water consumption that was tied to getting these reports, because we have fairly consistent water usage. Now, last year, water usage was up because we just had drought, but the years prior, we had pretty similar conditions. You could actually measure those.
I was just curious because Robin at meeting, she's at Hogan, she said that our water usage was quite low. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, and even last year with the city, our water usage was up, but our water usage per person was down.
really,
And so the part of this is just if people are made aware of what they're doing, what their neighbors are doing, we don't have to do this reduction of water all in one step. I mean, a 5% reduction in 1 year, you don't run a pivot 1 or 2 times when you could have. That's all it's going to take to get these numbers down to what we need for a stable aquifer. And we believe that those water users want to do that conserving themselves. We just need to make sure they have the tools and they know as much information as they can so they can make the right decisions. So it's been received surprisingly really well. A lot of times when you get into water issues, you can kind of touch it because you don't know how everybody's going to react, but everybody's been really positive about getting their support, wondering, asking questions about all the different aspects of it. And like you always get at the coffee shop and they all bring their reports and sit down, and the one guy that has a red box that used 30% more than his neighbors kind of has to kind of say something. Well, the guy who had a great crop and used less water than the average can kind of look in his hat and say, hey, those methods I've been using, the no-till and all those things, you can see the results. I had great crop and I used less water than you, so what are you gonna do about it?
Good.
Any questions?
In the city, there's a program that the city reimburse, I believe, people for their sprinkler systems, installing a smart watering system. Are there quite a few people taking advantage of that?
There's still room for more people to take advantage of that. I was just at Home Depot. If you take advantage of that program,
Yes.
you can almost get a new sprinkler system for like $20, $30, and it's way cheaper than conventional.
Yes.
So I'm going to just say, go to the city's website if you're interested in that.
Yep.
Smart sprinkler system. You have to get ones that are certified.
Yeah, rain delay.
And you have to contact all that. But we installed one at our house, and it is amazing how many times you don't need to water,
Right.
especially now when it rains, because it'll just automatically just say, hey, you got a rain, we're going to skip watering for a week. Or if you don't have that kind of thing, you have to go out to the garage and go hit it manually, or you know, else. But it makes a difference. So yeah, that's available through the city still. You go to the website to get that.
Good. Good. Any other questions for?
Yeah, Shannon, do you know how much of an impact DFA has had on our water
That
supply?
would not off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I know that DFA overall is a net positive for our water situation because of that reclaimed water that we have. And the city did get a $19 million grant to help do that recharging aquifer project, which a lot of that is because we had a DFA water. So I know that is a big positive to our water situation in this area. So, but I couldn't tell you, like, it's been too long.
Probably-
We just look at the numbers, give you actual numbers.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be hard to really gauge that. And as we continue to grow, we're going to use more water, but the per person, I like that that's down. That's cool.
Right, yeah. It's encouraging news.
Any other questions for Shannon? Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate your time. Mr. Grant, you're up. Being since your day, let's hear it.
I know, do some dancing up here.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. Want me to sit in now, since I didn't do that earlier? All right, so client 5231, I've had met with multiple times, had some multiple interactions with them, and they are looking close to finishing out their business plan. We just need to wait on a couple bids to come in and get a full list of expenses and get this client board ready for loan ready. And then client 6231 I've had an initial meeting with and has a small business of 3 years so far, working out of their home. And this client is looking to have big goals, so we're going to help start beginning the process of realizing those goals with a business plan. Client 6232 has an established business and is looking for more growth and wider reach with their clients. So we're going to focus on some marketing and outreach for them. And then client 6233 has just reached out to us, and we will be meeting with them this afternoon, see if we have feasibility for their startup. And then the meetings initiatives, Kansas FCEDC has some free webinars this coming month in July. July 18th, Plan for Profitability webinar, and July 27th, Intro to QuickBooks. And that's those flyers back there. And that's what I have for you.
Any questions for Grant? Grant, how's it going? You getting acclimated
Yeah.
to the process and all of that? Good.
I believe so.
Good. To hear that. So, in these clients that come to us without a business plan, do you help help them with the business plan? Is there
Yes.
some guidance that they?
So I'm basically an advisor,
Okay,
and I give them options and give them the business plan templates, and help them with what I know and what I don't know. I'm going to direct them to who they need to get in contact with.
okay. Good, good. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions? All right, thanks, Grant. Do we have any new business? No new business?
No, sir.
Do we have any old business?
Heck no, you guys
We got a
never
lot of
carry
old
business over.
Huh? We got a lot of old business, don't we? We
You
just,
never
you've
carry
already-
business over.
All right. We got any business? Do we have a need for an executive session?
You do.
Okay.
Yes, I would anticipate 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay, let's call it 30 minutes, just in case, because last time it did go, we always go a little extra over, so I think we will call it a 30-minute executive session. Do we have any questions from the audience with regards to anything? Thank you very much for attending, we appreciate it. Do I hear a motion to go into an executive session?
So moved.
We got a motion for to go into an executive session for 30 minutes. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We got a second. All in favor of going into an executive session, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. We'll be going into an executive session for approximately 30 minutes. So